Ottomans is the strongest nation in the game, period. In this video I will show you how to navigate their mission tree and how to use their mechanics. Well, anyway, let's grant some privileges. Minor privileges. Grant local residence to scholar. Choose the first option here, aggressive expansion. Clerical education, religious diplomats, Umera officer rights, burger loans. Don't grant anything to Dhimmi. Dhimmi already starts with very good privilege. You may forget about religious unity. And as for Janissaries. Janissaries privileges are kinda like a trap. They are very good, but later in the game they will become a problem. So of course you can grant them, and it might be a good idea because, well, they will become a problem 100 years later. Right now they are very good, but just keep it in mind, don't grant too many. So grant Sultan appointed Agas and loyalty to the Sultanate. You can also grant this privilege if you want to, ensure discipline training, or even more discipline for Janissaries, but as I said, be careful, I wouldn't grant more. Okay, this is land, and now let's choose some rivals. As rivals, choose Mamluks, Hungary, and either Austria or Venice. I would choose Austria here. Now let's talk about our mission tree. So to start conquering, you need to complete this mission and this mission. Right now you need to complete this one. For this you need to fill up your force limit. So hire free company and 2 Janissaries. Yes, just 2. They are quite expensive. You may hire more later. Also, let's briefly talk about Pashas. Pashas are cool. They are very cool, but not at this stage. Pasha will really help you when you conquer new territory, but in exchange they increase autonomy, which is very bad. I recommend to assign them later, when you can assign at least 50 provinces, at least. So you can finish this mission, and they increase autonomy only by 10. Anyway, also build some galleys. Galleys are very cheap, so no need to worry, but you may need them against Venice. This event is necessary to complete your first mission. You will get some power projection, which is cool, but most importantly, you need to hire one more general. You're gonna do this with this decision, grant generalship. So after you grant general and after this event, you will be able to complete this mission. Do it and you get claims on whole Greece. Let's wait for our free company and we can finish one more mission. Refill the Ortas. This mission will grant you claims on whole Turkey. So basically you now can conquer Greece and Turkey. But remember that you have truce with Karaman. Let's wait for a little more, and here it is, the Siege Engineer Orban. Choose the first option, it will be very cheap and very good advisor. I recommend to hire him, here he is, Urban, and I recommend to hire this advisor. He is quite cheap and he is quite good. As for allies, I like Crimea, you can ally Bohemia if you want to, and maybe even sometimes Poland. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes. Okay, here we go, 11th December. Complete this mission, the guns of Urban, and it will grant you some cannons. Cannons are very cool. Not for combat, but for sieging. These particular cannons are useless in combat. As you can see, they don't have any pips, like any at all. They will be just slaughtered in combat. So use them only for sieging. Anyway, let's assign our general, first general here, and assign one more general to this army. Now what I recommend to do is I recommend to declare on Byzantium. So usually Byzantium is either not allied to anyone, it's allied to Wallachia or to Serbia. Here it's allied to Wallachia, not bad. Could be worse. Take Constantinople and let's go. First I would like to stack wipe Byzantium and deal with Wallachia. So as you can see, stack wipe because we have awesome general and also because we have more troops. What I'll do now is I will try to piss out Wallachia ASAP. First piss out allies. And I will declare on Epirus because it's quite weak and doesn't have strong allies. If it's allied to Genoa, Venice or whatever, you can declare on it later. I will declare right now. And you can start sieging with your mercenary company, free company. You need to conserve your manpower. Remember this. I will start sieging Wallachia. So here we go, let's declare on Epirus. It's allied to Albania, which is very good because declaring on Albania is quite difficult. It's guaranteed by Venice, but you will need to do it anyway. So let's declare. Albania starts with a very good general. So be careful. You must not let Albania unite with its allies, if it's allied to someone. Don't siege with full stack and don't siege with Janissaries. Siege with the minimum amount possible. You can see the necessary amount to siege the province here. Regiments needed 3, so I need to siege with 4. It's the best amount because siege won't pause, even if some troops die, and you won't drain too much manpower. I've sieged town Wallachia, but quite unfortunately, it has truce with the Ottomans at the start. That means that you can't fully annex it. That's not a big deal, I would just take money and peace out. Anyway, now only Byzantium is left and it will be easier. I will siege Constantinople. By the way, our fleet is ready, we can finish one more mission. The Crescent Fleet. You will get very good admiral. So here it is, Constantinople is sieged. Sieging Constantinople is the most difficult part. And once again, I recommend you to do it with free company and your cannons. So you save your manpower. You don't have much at the start. Also, when you can, start carrying favors with Crimea. You need 20 favors. Believe me, it won't take long. Anyway, we've sieged Albania, and I think it would be a very good idea to fully conquer Albania, because Ottomans have cores on it. As you can see, if we conquer it, we won't need to core anything. And even about decadence. You may not worry about decadence right now. As you can see, early Ottomans have this modifier, Rise of the Ottomans. It would be very difficult to get 100 decadence, if not impossible. I've sieged down Arta, and that means soon I will be able to piece out Epirus. I prefer to declare on both Epirus and Byzantium at the same time, but you can do it separately. There is no need to do it like this. You just need Epirus for your missions. Most likely you will be the first nation to get 4th Miltech. That means that you can engage in any war you want. You will stack wipe everyone. Anyway, we can piece out Byzantium, and you need to fully annex it and take some money. If you're still at war, I recommend to wait for a little and not core Constantinople. Don't do it. For now, just ignore it. So here I go, I fully siege down Albania. Also, sometimes Epirus allies Ragusa, for example, or maybe Herzegovina, or maybe Bosnia. In such cases, I recommend you to vassalize them. Not conquer, but vassalize. And let's piece out Epirus. If Epirus allied to Genoa, Naples, or someone like this, you need to conquer it later. Maybe not now, but later, when you're ready. It wasn't the most beginner-friendly move, but now we have whole Greece and Albania. It isn't that difficult actually. Ottomans have a lot of troops. You can wage even 3 wars if you want to. 2 in Greece, 1 in Anatolia. It's possible, most of my troops were on standby. Now what you want to do is you want to make Constantinople your capital. Now you're in empire. That's first. Second, it's already your core, which is very good. And third, it's in your culture and it's your religion. And fourth, you can finish this mission. You will get some very good bonuses. So, because I've already conquered Epirus, I can finish this mission, reign in Greece. If you haven't conquered Epirus, you can do it later. But I recommend to do it as soon as possible, because it will grant you claims on whole Balkans. And you do have truce with Serbia, but it ends soon. And Hungary actually may try to conquer Serbia. And believe me, it's better to conquer Serbia yourself. You might want to delete some forts, because as you can see, fort maintenance is very expensive. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to ally Bohemia, and I'm going to prepare for the next war, against Anatolian Beyliks. I recommend to choose the weakest one. Here, for example, it's Kandar. It's allied with Dulkadir, let's see. Actually, yes, I can even conquer both of them. Kandar is very good Beylik to conquer, because it has a trade center here. So, I can declare because we have good relations. What does it mean? It means we need to insult Kandar. Let's do it. Send an insult, and now we can declare. I will make Dulkadir co-belligerent, so I can conquer it, and we'll declare. As usual, you can annex all of them in one war. It's quite possible. Or you can move half of your army here to Balkans and conquer someone else, like Epirus, Serbia, I don't know. It's your choice. Let's declare, and again it should be very easy. You have better militech, you have tons of troops, you don't have manpower, but it's not necessary. So I will send half of my army here, I will detach free company, and half of my army here. Let's use cannons here, and stack wipe this stack. Here we go, 400 casualties on our side, and 7,000 on their side. Ottomans are very strong. What I also recommend to do is to fully occupy their provinces, so they can't reinforce their troops. They can't just hire some mercenary company or something like this. I will also fully occupy these provinces here, and I will siege down Dulkadir. Again, nothing difficult, you just need some confidence. The truce with Karaman has expired, and I can even declare. Again, I don't want to make this guide too complicated, so I think first I will siege down Hizenkaif, I think. It has good fort, so that might be a problem. It seems I was late to the party. Well, not a big deal, I will just send white peace. Don't worry about loans, loans are not a big deal. Take as many loans as you want, you will be able to pay them out later. Anyway, as you can see, they don't have much army, and a lot of my troops are just standing by, which is bad. I will use them in Serbia. Our truce has ended, so I don't see a reason why not. It's better to conquer Serbia and Bosnia sooner than later. Like I said, Hungary most likely will conquer them. Fate of the Patriarchate. If you want to play through humanism, not convert anything and just be tolerant Ottoman Empire, you can choose the first option. If you want to convert everything, choose the second option. I will choose the first one. Okay, let's start Dulkadir. I will fully annex it, nothing difficult. Not yet it seems, I need to wait for a little bit more. Well, okay, it won't make sense to separate peace. It will just take too long. I will send peace deal like this. I will get less money, but everything else is the same. Again, let's score. And now what I will do is I will season and I will declare on Serbia. And on Karaman, both at the same time. By the way, we have 20 favors with Crimea, and that means we need to exchange them for trust. 10 trust, and now start improving relations. You need 150 relations. It seems I already have them, which is good, but if you don't, improve relations. So, now there is a very big chance that Crimea will become our vassal later in the game. Now I will declare on both Serbia and on Karaman. Take Karaman and let's go. As you can see, they only have 11k troops, which is not much. It's less than my army here. Ottomans have tons of troops, so don't be shy, declare as many wars as you want. Just be careful. And let's declare on Serbia. So it seems I can make Bosnia co-belligerent. If you can't, not a big deal again. You don't really need to pull up like crazy, but it would be good. So most likely Hungary will declare on Serbia right now, but you only need Kosovo. You really need Kosovo. Kosovo will help you with your economy. Strike wipe Karaman, but I won't engage here because Trebizond is mountains. And attacking in mountains is a bad idea. I will wait for it to come out. As you can see, Serbia even doesn't want to engage me. It's afraid of me. I put my stack here, so if something goes wrong, I can reinforce my sieging stacks. And about events with decadence. Take them, not a big deal, at least right now. You will have 0 decadence very quickly. So I've sieged down Serbia, again nothing difficult, literally speed 5-ing. And now I will handle Bosnia. And I've sieged down Karaman. Yes, we do lose money, but like I said, don't worry. A worst case scenario, you might delete a few forts, and you might need to downsize your army. By the way, might be a good idea, maybe let's delete some forts. Not like anyone will siege me. I don't have a clue why Trebizond is chilling here, but yeah, it's very strange. Anyway, better for me. A new miltech, 5th miltech, and now you'll be literally the strongest nation. 5th miltech for Ottomans is the best. So I just understood that my diplomats aren't doing anything, and that's bad. What you want to do with your diplomats is you want to improve relations with outraged nations. For example, here I would need to improve relations with Ramazan, Akkuyunlu, and let's improve relations with, I don't know, Genoa. Why not? Improve relations will help you with coalitions. Nations can join the coalition if they have more than 0 relations with you. Well, okay, conquering Bosnia right now might be not the best move. Well, it's possible, it's just, let's say, not beginner friendly. But anyway, I did improve relations, and I can pass out Serbia without any troubles. Who will be able to join the coalition? I think I should scornfully install Bosnia to improve relations with Herzegovina, improve relations with Wallachia a little bit, and I need to improve relations with Theodora. And I can pass out. Coalition only forms if there are 4 nations that can join. And only Mamluks, Venice and Hungary will be able to join. Okay, let's pass out and no coalition would form. From Serbia the most important is Kosovo. Everything else is secondary. Just as I predicted, Hungary conquered Bosnia. And it would have done the same with Serbia. You can believe me. That's my guarantee. Also, in theory, it's possible to automatically vassalize Ragusa, so you might want to keep a guarantee, but it will take quite a long time, so I will just revoke and conquer later. Okay, and now it's time to chill, let coalitions cool down a little. I suggest next time you conquer some Anatolian provinces. As second government reform, choose this one, it's very good, unique to Ottomans. So it seems Ramazan is unprotected and I can easily conquer it. If you see good opportunity, declare. And here we go, Turkey is united. Also, by the way, France might be good ally. It usually rivals your natural enemies, so you can ally it. Also, after you get 5th miltech, I recommend to switch your focus to admin points. I've just opened coalition map and noticed there are 4 orange nations. That means I need to improve relations with someone ASAP, so they don't join the coalition. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insult Trebizond, so Akkuyunlu has positive opinion on me. Okay, now it's fine. So, interesting event, choose whatever you like here, but most importantly, I finally cored Kosovo. So what do you want to do after you core Kosovo? You want to state this state, core Kosovo. By the way, you should state every province, you have auto carrying capacity and you'll make Eyalets, though there won't be any problems. Anyway, now you want to choose development edict in this state, reduce autonomy, and develop Kosovo a little, up to 10 production. And now we're finally making money. That's why you shouldn't be afraid of taking loans. Like I said, we will pay them out. And by the way, about this government reform, if you scroll down past your decadence, you will be able to click on all of these buttons. It will take some mana, but in return you will get some bonuses. I recommend to always choose the first one for core creation, and you may choose the other ones depending on your situation. Let's do it. So now, of course, you could declare on Albania or Venice, conquer Balkans, but ideally it's not what you want. Ideally you want to finish this mission, Unifying Anatolia. Of course, declaring on Italians might be a good idea, but it's better to declare on Akkuyunlu. Yes, you could conquer islands at Trebizond, but let's be honest, it's more difficult and it costs more aggressive expansion. By the way, I can diplomatically vassalize Cyprus, let's try. If you can diplomatically vassalize some islands or someone not from Anatolia or Balkans, you can try. You will turn them into Eyalets. They won't take any diplomatic slots. So, Akkuyunlu is usually guaranteed by Karaman and allies Ajam, usually, almost always. And of course, in theory, I could declare and piece them out separately, but as you can see, it's not possible in this scenario, because first I'll need to siege Kakuyunlu, then Karakuyunlu, and only then I will be able to get to Ajam. But it's a lot easier to piece them out separately. So instead what I'll do is I will first declare on Karakuyunlu, siege it down, then declare on Akuyunlu, and I will be able to get access to Ajam quickly and easily. Quickly piece it out, and the war is already won, basically. So here it is, the first siege is done. I'm just letting them siege my provinces, I don't care. As your first siege ability, take aggressive expansion reduction. Not this one, but this one. Yes, unique abilities are cool, but aggressive expansion is a lot more useful. So first I'm trying to piece out allies of Karakuyunlu. That's my first goal. I'll just take some money and that's it. Now I will try to piece out Mazandaran. I have acquired Mazandaran and I think I should be able to piece it out. Let's see. Yes I am, let's do it. Okay, so now only Karakuyunlu is left. But I won't piece it out, no I won't. Instead what I'll do is now I will declare on Akuyunlu. By the way, let's improve relations with Cyprus, and as you can see I will just need to deal with Ajam and Shirvan. Karakuyunlu is already dealt with. Divide and conquer. Okay, now I will just quickly piece out Ajam, very quickly, extremely quickly, I'll just beeline for capital. As your first idea group, take either influence ideas if you want to play with a lot of Eyalets, or diplomatic ideas if you want to manage your aggressive expansion more efficiently. I will take diplomatic ideas. Also we can upgrade our mill tech, let's do it, now this war should be trivial. We have 2 more mill techs than our enemies. Okay, so here we go, I sieged Ajam and soon I'll be able to peace out. Again, I'm just trying to get it out of the war, I'm not trying to take a lot, just money. And I guess let's try to siege Shirvan. By the way, as you can see, I don't even use all of my troops. Third of my army is on a standby. Now I will destroy army of Ajam and I will quickly piece it out. I just want some money. Well, it seems I would need to wait for a little more, just a little. Okay, now let's piece out. I don't take much, I just need money. And as you can see, that's already quite manageable. Always piece out allies first. Without allies, any nation is extremely weak. Okay, and now I can piece out Shirvan. Again, I'm just siege racing, minimum amount of battles, but a lot of sieges. Okay, you want to fully annex Akuyunlu and maybe some money. And Karakuyunlu is more interesting. You want 3 or 2 Anatolian provinces, as many as you can get. You need to complete this mission, it's essential. You also want to isolate Karakuyunlu from Mamluks, take this province. And now you don't want Persia, you want Caucasian. I know it sounds weird, but first you need to conquer Caucasia for your missions. But as you can see, there are some problems with coalition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to improve relations with these nations. So let's see. With nations that I don't have truce with, that's quite important. If you have truce, nation can't join the coalition. So I will improve relations with Wallachia, Genoa, maybe Great Horde, Biapas, Kasikumuk maybe. Well, yeah, I need to improve relations a lot. That's why diplomatic ideas are very cool. You can improve relations with a lot of nations. Although I think I will take 1 less province, because if I take 1 more, I will have over 100 overextension. It's extremely bad. If you have over 100 overextension, rebels will spawn a lot more quickly, and you have tons of negative events. Anyway, that's still enough, no coalition because I improve relations, and I have truce with most nations. Anyway, now you will get claims on Mamluks, finally. That's why I've said to complete this mission, that's why it's your priority. By the way, if you for some reason can't complete the mission, you can release Syria from Akuyunlu and declare with your conquest. Although Syria now is a little bit worse than in previous patches, because you still will be able to conquer Mamluks in 2 wars, without much aggressive expansion. But if you want good vassal or casus belli, you can release Syria. Anyway, now our target is Mamluks, but as you can see they have tons of troops, so I will build some janissaries. And because I built some janissaries, I can finish this mission. And if you grant at least 2 privileges to janissaries, you will be able to finish also this mission. Yes, janissaries will become a problem, but it's not now, it's quite late. And by the way, I should get 190 relation with Cyprus. I will try to trade power, send gift, let's also influence nation, maybe proclaim guarantee, and almost. And let's finally turn Cyprus into our Eyalet. Offer vassalization and promote to Eyalet. Yes, you can promote any vessel to Eyalet. So let's talk about Eyalets. Let's open our subjects, and here it is. So, first, Eyalets pay a lot of money to you. Second, Eyalets give manpower to you. As you can see, plus 30,000 just from Cyprus. Third, they give half of its trade power. And if we enable their trade, they will give us 100% of their trade power. Also, they work like HRE vessel swarm. Each Eyalet has independent liberty desire. Eyalets don't join wars automatically, but they get favors, and you can call them in anyway. There are also core Eyalets, but we'll talk about them later. You can make core Eyalet by clicking this button, Reign in Eyalet. So you might ask, what's the drawback of Eyalets. There is no drawbacks. Eyalets are OP, but it's better to make a lot of small Eyalets and not one big Eyalet. So for example, it would be better to first release some nations from Karaman and only then make Eyalets, not just turn whole Karaman into Eyalet. Also, you can make Eyalets by justifying invasion. Here it is, justify invasion. When should you do this? When the nation has less than 150 development, but it's impossible to annex it in one war. That's the best case to do it. Yes, as you can see, it's possible to call in your Eyalets, although LTPT yes. And maybe after all, let's release Syria. Yes, it's of course not necessary, but we'll get less aggressive expansion, and well, that's important. So, it might seem like Mamluks are stronger, but believe me, they're not. Mamluks are very easy to deal with. Let's promote Syria to Eyalet, and let's declare on Mamluks. You don't need much war score in the first war. You don't need a lot of provinces. So here we go, it's extremely easy right now because we have cannons. Cannons early game will help you siege down Mamluks extremely fast. I'm almost at Mamluks capital. It isn't really difficult, no resistance at all. Even if there is resistance, most likely we'll have better militech and better generals, so you will win. So Kahira is sieged, again no battles for now, just keep your troops nearby and everything will be fine. Mamluks won't be able to do anything to you. Fate of the Crimean Khanate. And that's why I recommended to ally Crimea and carry favors. For some reason it's a relatively unknown feature, but if you don't finish the mission, Crimea may either refuse or become just tributary. But if you do finish your mission, Crimea will become your march, and you will be able to turn it into a regular vessel, or maybe even a Eyalet. Anyway, let's kill Mamluks. I forgot about this. I think one more fort and I can peace out. So here we go, let's see. Yes, I can. That's my peace deal. So let me explain what's going on here. Ideally, you don't need that much of land, you don't. What you need is, let me show you, here it is, defeat the Mamluks, you need 6 provinces in this region, 6 provinces in Mashriq, and at least either Dimashq or Al-Quds. I don't really need Al-Quds, but it has this great project. If you want to convert, you may take it for yourself, because after this war it will be quite difficult to take any provinces from Mamluks. If you don't want this great project, it's not a big deal. What I'm taking here is I am feeding my vassal Syria, just a little. I don't want to become it too strong. Don't overfeed your Eyalets, because this diplomatic action depends on their development. If they're too big, it will be impossible to annex them, so don't do it. I will feed a small amount of provinces and take centers of trade for me. Also quite important, Eyalets do not count as your border. Yes, developers fixed it, but no, they didn't. It doesn't work as you expect. Our capital is in Europe. What does it mean? That means that only European Eyalets count as your border. If you want, for example, Syria to count as your border or Mamluks, you need to move your capital to Iraq. So it's better to at least snake a little bit, not give your Eyalet everything. So let's peace out, and we can finish this mission. I won't do it right now, I will do it when our truce ends. And let's steal trade power from Syria. Enable the trade, here we go. And what I will also do is I will revoke March of Crimea, on stability bad but well, will survive, and I will promote it to Eyalet. For this I will blockade local rulers once, and let's do it. Eyalets are a lot better than vassals. Yes, you can't annex them, but they're still better. And enable the trade. So you might ask, what's next? Next, ideally either Albania, if you haven't conquered it, and war against Venice, or maybe Caucasian. Also might be good. I think what I'll do now is I will conquer Samskhe. It's very easy target. Maybe let's even call in our Eyalets. As third reform, take this one, provincial government system, and now as second ability you can take unique one. And that's why Janissaries might become a problem. You either need to choose negative privilege, or you need to fight out of rebels. Well, I think fighting out of rebels is better, at least right now. What I'll do now is I will annex both of these nations, and I will release them. Caucasia, Samskhe, and I will make them my Eyalets. And of course steal their trade. They give you a lot of manpower. As you can see, already 80,000 manpower. But also don't forget about these islands. They are still your priority. You need to conquer all provinces in Constantinople trade node. So, right now, as I can see, I can declare on Genoa. It's a week. What to do if you can declare on Genoa? For example, if France allied it. You can try to find its allies and declare on them, and not make Genoa co-belligerent. But what to do if Venice has a lot of allies? Usually you don't conquer Albania that quickly, usually you declare on Albania, don't make Venice co-belligerent, and break its alliances, then declare on Venice. It seems Castile won't help Venice. That's a very good opportunity. From Genoa you just want Crimean provinces and those islands, with some money. As second attack group you might take administrative. That's why I said to build galleys. Galleys are cheap, but ability to sink Venetian fleet is just invaluable. Venetians can't retreat because, well, I guess Hungary didn't give them access. and now they will die, like this. By the way, yes, I forgot to mention a very important fact. Your Eyalets can be pissed out separately. It's not like vassals, they're more like allies. I also can conquer the knights, let's do it. Well, let's piss out Venice. So ideally from Venice you want to take all Balkans and these islands. But well, it's not really possible right now because Venice did sink my fleet. And by the way, yes, it is possible to become ally of Venice through this mission branch. But actually I think just conquering it is better, definitely more reliable. So here we go, the truce against Mamluks has ended and it's time for the second war. This time it's going to be a little bit more difficult. This time you will need to get almost 100 war score and keep it for 3 years. What you need to do is you need to keep your troops close, so Mamluks can stack wipe you, and try to piss out allies of Mamluks, like Transoxiana here. If they have allies, if they don't, well, that's even better. You need to get 100 war score. 8 mil tech and now Mamluks don't stand a chance. Use mil tech to your advantage. One of my army groups going to piss out Transoxiana, one Mamluks. Let's also start Gun era. By the way, very important. Make sure you siege down the capital. Not your vassals, not your Eyalets. If someone else sieges down capital, the event might not trigger and you might not vassalize Mamluks. That's very important. So here it is, collapse of the Mamluk Sultanate. I really recommend to create Eyalet of Egypt. It's very cool. That's the difference in mil tax. By the way, if the event hasn't triggered, you can use Egyptian rebels. They may siege down capital once again, and you may try to siege down again. There is a chance that it will trigger. Okay, let's pass out Medina. We can even vassalize it, by the way. By the way, it might be a good idea. Once again, remember, after you make Mamluks your Eyalet, you either need to move your capital or annex them. Otherwise, you won't be able to expand into Arabia and Africa. Okay, let's pass out Transoxiana. And now only Ormuz is left, basically. Okay, let's pass out Ormuz and everything is almost done. Just need to copy siege a little. And here we go, 99 war score. I just beat 5 this entire war, it shouldn't be that difficult, believe me. And here we go, the fall of Mamluk Sultanate. Wait for a little more, just a little bit more, please. Yes, I can vassalize Medina. As you can see, you won't get any aggressive expansion for this, so you can conquer a little bit. And Mamluks will become your Eyalet, core Eyalet. What are the differences? First difference, you can't call in Mamluks to your wars. They also can be annexed, and you shouldn't have too many core Eyalets, because they will have very high liberty desire. So how to keep them loyal? Develop them. One development is 5 liberty desire. And by the way, your missions grant you liberty desire reduction. I've got Ottoman's conquest of Tunis and claims on Arabia. But like I said, if you want to conquer something from Arabia, and you don't have border yourself, you only have Mamluks here, you need to move your capital to Asia. And let's also make Tunis our Eyalet, and Medina. For Medina, I will reduce liberty desire just a little bit. Let's see, maybe let's placate local rulers, and I need to improve relations. Let's promote Medina to Eyalet. Okay, let's piss out Tunis. Now it's our Eyalet, and you can finish this mission, which will let you turn it into core Eyalet. Just keep in mind that if you do this, it will be more difficult to keep both Tunis and Mamluks loyal. Core Eyalets work like vassals. They share liberty desire. Usually Eyalets are independent, they're like HRE. And by the way, to annex Mamluks, you will need to finish Fate of Mamluks mission. This is not the end of the video, but I will tell what to do later. Your next steps. It depends on your game, but you have a lot of expansion opportunities. First one is first conquer Caucasia, then you will get claims on Persia, conquer Persia, and you can go to India. Also very good expansion opportunity is, well, here I would need to declare on Hungary, but if you conquer Bosnia, you might not need it. Complete this mission, push into the north, and you'll be able to turn Hungary into an Eyalet. Then you can conquer Austria and get into Italy. That's European path. And I would recommend to actually rush Barbary Coast if you're sure that you can keep both Tunis and Egypt loyal. I would recommend to first expand into Asia and Africa, and only then in Europe, because managing coalitions in Europe is much more difficult. And also this was quite a chill game, still it might be difficult for the beginners. Forget about the date, you may conquer the same amount of land like 60 years later, but just remember good expansion directions. So here they are, Ottomans in 17th century. So Ottomans disasters start from this one, internal power struggle. For it to start, you would need 100 decadence. Just have maximum absolutism, it's important. To get a good absolutism you need to constantly seize land and have around 70 crown land. You also need to be constantly at wars, have low autonomy and zero corruption. Then decadence most likely won't grow. But disasters actually are quite cool. If you're willing to go through them, you can get a lot of bonuses. So here it is, 100 decadence, and now this disaster will fire. And here it is, this disaster. So let's wait for a little for it to trigger. Once this disaster starts, 4 new disasters will appear. I think developers wanted you to trigger this disaster because it opens up new mission tree branch. Here it is. You need to finish all of these bottom missions. All of them. But like I said, it's possible not to trigger it. Anyway, thank you for watching, hope you liked this video. If you liked it, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.